ಫೋನ್ ನೋಡಿರ್ಬಮ್ಮ ಯಾರು ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ. ಹಾ Okay, so we'll see the module 1 because slowly we'll start. So what we are seeing in the module 1 is this is just a revision class. What we have done till now, we just have a revision. So what is an operating system? Simple batch system, multi-programming batch system, time sharing system, personal computer system, parallel system, distributed system, and the real-time system. This is what they are in your module 1. So then first, what is an operating system? A program that acts as an intermediary between a user of a computer and a computer hardware. Operating system goals are execute user program and make solving user problem easier. Make the computer system convenient to use the computer hardware in an efficient manner. So that's what the operating system is. What is an operating system? Program. It is a program that acts as an intermediary between user of the computer and the computer hardware. So then what is goals of the operating system? Executes user program and make solving user problem easier. So why do we require this? So now why do we require the laptops or desktops or smartphones? Why don't we have a simple one? So using a laptop or a system or a mobile, we want technologies to be improved not only for that, but for the users, for the user to use them efficiently. And it should be user friendly. That's the reason we are using. Same way here, the operating system also is required where the programs, whatever we try to run, should be in a way that it should solve the problem of the human beings. Make the computer system convenient to use. So how to conveniently we should use the operating system. Use the computer hardware in an efficient manner. So how should we use computer hardware? So we know that when we are seen in the CPU scheduling are different. And what is the work of CPU algorithms? We see that there should not be any. We should see that the processor should not be idle. We should make always the processor busy. So that's what the operating system is. So then, what is computer system components? So hardware is one component, operating system is another component. Then computer system components, hardware uh, provides basic computer resources, computer operating system, application program, user. So what are the hardwares? So now mouse, CPU, monitor, pen drive, cables, power cables, all these are the hardwares. So basic computer base provides basic computing resources, CPU, memory, input output device. What is operating system? Controls and coordinates the use of the hardware among the various application programs for the various users. Application programs defines the way in which the system resources are used to solve the computing problems of the users. So compilers, database system, video games, business programs, etc. Then users, people, machine, other computers. This is what a computer system components are. So then we can see the abstract view of the system component. So abstract means what? We don't see in depth what are the details we have. So just abstract view of the system components. User, user 1, user 2, 3, user etc. till n. The compiler, assembler, text editor, database system, system application, system and application programs, operating system and computer hardware. So these are the components. So there may be any user. I may be using a compiler, C compiler, and sometimes you may use a assembler. Some people may use a text editor. Like this, there are so many users where they use based on their requirement. So same way in software company, there may be a database administrator, there may be a developer, there may be a Java developer, there may be a ASP.NET developer. There will be so many people, and there may be a test engineers, there may be designer, there may be analyst. So like this, each one of them have their own responsibilities. So in that case, every one of them may be using the computer, but each one will be using their own softwares. So in the same way here, this is the abstract view of the system component, the system and the application program. So then, what is the operating system? So the operating system, actually, we have just seen that this is an operating. It's the same as your program. So where it is making to execute. Then just we have seen the computer hardware. What are the different hardwares we use it? So we use monitor, keyboard, mouse, so cable wires. Inside, these are the outer look of the computers. So inside look, there may be motherboard, there may be cache memories, and again memories may be of different types. So what are the different types of memories we have? Main memory, secondary memory. The same way we may have a CPU. And along that there are so many other wires, bus. These are the computer hardwares. Operating system definition. If we just see what are the definitions of operating system: resource allocator, control program, kernel. So resource allocator manages and allocates resources. Then control program controls the execution of user programs and operations of input-output device. Kernel, the one program running at all times, all else being application programs. Then simple batch system, hire an operator. So you can see how to hire the operator, user operator, add a card reader, reduce setup time by batching similar jobs. So automatic job sequencing, automatically transfer control from one job to another. First rudimentary operating system, resident monitor, initial control in, monitor control transfers to the job. When job completes, control transfers back to the monitor. So memory layout for a simple batch system, it's the operating system, user program. So then control cards. So how does the monitor know about the nature of the job? Example, whether the Fortran or a assembly or which program to execute. So how does the monitor distinguish job from job, data from the program? Solution, introduce control cards. So then control cards, special cards that tell the resident monitor which program to run, job, Fortran or run or data or end. Special characters distinguish control cards from data or program cards in a column 1, in column 192, 709 in column 3. So then what is control cards? So parts of resident monitor, control card interpreter responsible for reading and carrying out instruction on the card, loader load system programs and application programs into memory. So device drivers know special characteristics and properties for each of the systems input output. Problem, slow performance, input output and CPU could not overlap, card reader very slow. Solution, offline operation, speed up computations by loading jobs into memory from tapes and cards, reading and line printing done offline. Spooling overall overlap input output of one job with computation of another job while executing one job the operating system. So reads next job from card reader into a storage area on the disk. That's what job sequencing. Output printout of previous job from disk to printer. Job pool data structures that allows the operating system to select which job to run next in order to increase the CPU utilization. When multi-programmed batch systems, several jobs are kept in main memory at the same time. The CPU is multiplexed among them. It's operating system, job 1, job 2, job 3, job 4. This is how the operating system or this are the batches. So the same way you would have seen in your labs, what did we do? We have out of 60 people, 2 batches have been done. So first batch will be doing one set of program, one set of lab programs. Another set of people will be doing some other set of programs. So that's what is. Similarly here in operating system also we are doing a multi-programmed batch system. So if 30 students are doing data structure, other 30 students may be doing Java. So other 30 students doing CN, other 30 will be doing mini project. Like this is being done a batch, a system. OS features needed for multi-programming. So input-output routine supplied by the system. Memory management, the system must allocate the memory to several jobs. CPU scheduling, the system must choose among several jobs ready to run. Allocation of the devices. Time sharing system, interactive computing, the CPU is multiplexed among several jobs that are kept in the memory and on the disk. The CPU is allocated to a job only if job is in the memory. So time sharing means the same way you can see. Now each of us have a classes. So when we have a classes, each one will be given 1 hour slot, 1 hour Java, 1 hour CN, 1 hour OS, 1 hour DMS, 1 hour DS. So like this each one. So after that their given time, they have to leave the class because next person will be handling the class. Same way here, even in the operating system. So it will be given a time limit, 5 minutes. So 5 minutes it has to complete its job. If it completes it within that 5 minutes, then fine. If it is not completing, then it has to go back to the end of the queue. So that's what a time sharing system, interactive computing. The CPU is multiplexed among several jobs that are kept in the memory and on the disk. A job is swapped in and out of memory to the disk. Online communication between the user and the system is provided. When the operating system finishes the execution of one command, it seeks the next control statement, not from a card reader, but rather from the user's keyboard. Online system must be available for users to access data and code. So next is personal computer system. So personal computer system dedicated to a single user, input output device, keyboards, mice, display screen, small printer. So then user convenient and response cannot adopt technology developed for larger operating systems. Often individual have sole use of computer and do not need advanced CPU utilization of protection feature. So then you can see in this how the operating system has migration from 1950 to 1990. So in 1950, no softwares were available. It was very difficult for everyone to see. And in 1950, you can see the if I say system, computer system, it was taking one big room. So even nowadays, you can just to have a look. You can see in a Vishweshwaraya Museum near to Shivaji Nagar, where they have displayed there how was the computer in 1950s, and in 1960s, a small increased technology things. So the compiler has come into existence. Along with compiler, we have a time share, batching the similar jobs, and resident monitors have come. Along with that, in mini computers are also were available in those days, but it was not having any softwares. That was about 1960s and 1970s. So we were having a multi-user operating system, and in 1970s also mini computers were available, and along with the compiler, along with the time-shared operating system, along with that we were having a microcomputers. So, but even in microcomputers there were no softwares, but resident monitors were available. So then small things were started with the network computers. That was about 1970. In 1980, distributed system has come into existence. So what is this distributed computer? We know about a centralized keeping all your documents in one place. That is what a centralized. Distributed means keeping a two or three copies in a different places, so that you can keep a, so that if something goes wrong in one system, you can use another system. So then multiprocessor, many people are using, or the job is being done simultaneously. Multi means many, processor means different processes are executing at the different things. And in 1980s, the multi-user concept have come into existence, and interactive multi-users were there. So all slowly it has picked up, and network computers were also available. In 1990s, along with all this, we were having a fault tolerance operating system, and then multi-processor was there. Even in multi-processor, fault tolerance systems were available, and multi-processors were there. But computer networks, there were no softwares, but the compiler has started. So then what is parallel system? Multi-processor system with more than one CPU is close communication. Tightly coupled system, processor share memory and the clock. Communication usually takes place through the shared memory. Advantage of parallel system: increased throughput, economical, increased reliability, graceful degradation, fail soft system. Then what is parallel system? So symmetric multiprocessing, SMP, symmetric multiprocessing. Each processor runs on identical copy of the operating system. Many processors can run at once without performance deterioration. Most computer operating systems support SMP, asymmetric multiprocessing. Each processor is assigned a specific task. Master processor schedules and allocates work to slave processes. More common is extremely large system. Then symmetric multiprocessing architecture, CPU. So this is what here you can have all CPUs are shared with single bus, and all the CPUs are sharing a one single memory. So that's what is called as a symmetric multiprocessing architecture. Real-time system, often used as a control device in a dedicated application such as controlling scientific experiments, medical imaging system, industrial control system, and some display systems. Well-defined fixed time constraint, ARC real-time system, secondary storage limited or absent, data stored in short-term memory or read-only memory, conflicts with time-sharing system, not supported by general purpose operating system. Then soft real-time system with limited utility in industrial control or robotics, useful in application multimedia, virtual reality, so requiring advanced operating system feature. So this is about the real-time systems are. You can see there are so many real-time example. We have a smartwatch, smart band, and you can see right now we have a thermal sensors. All these are a real-time operating systems. Then we have something called as a distributed system. So distribute the computation among several physical processors, loosely coupled system. Each processor has its own local memory. Processor communicates with one another through various communication links such as high-speed buses or telephone lines. Advantage of distributed system: resource sharing, computational speed up, loading share, reliability, and communication. So this is what about distributed system. So continuing with the distributed system, we have a network operating system, provides file sharing, provides communication scheme, runs independently from other computer on the network. And distributed operating system, less autonomous between computer, gives the impression there is a single operating system controlling the network. Then cluster system, cluster means making a groups. Clustering allow two or more systems to share the storage. Provides high reliability. The clustering system provides high reliability because a group. Symmetric clustering, one server runs the application while other servers stand by. Then symmetric clustering, all n hosts are running the application. So this is about a cluster system. Hand-end system, personal digital assistants, cellular phones. So, but even a hand-end systems, we have some more disadvantages. So, what is that? Limited memory. So, when we compare with the laptop or a desktop, how much uh, even the smartphones are having. So, you can see now the hard disk become a more than terabytes, whereas in still in the mobile we have not come to a level of terabytes. So that's the reason we have a limited memory. Then slow processor compared to the processing done in the laptop or a desktop, the mobile is still slower compared to the other devices. Then small screen, small display screen. So you can see that our mobiles are having very small display screen compared to a monitor, whatever we have, laptop monitor and a desktop. So this is about a handheld system. The next moving on to a computing environment. Traditional computing, web-based computing and embedded computing. So what are the operating system structure, system components, operating system services, system calls, system programs, system structure, virtual machine, system design and implementation, system generation. These are the operating system structures. Same way, common system components. What are the common system components? Process management, main memory management, file management, input output system management, secondary management, networking, protection system, command interpreter system. So these are the common system components. Then process management, a process is a program in execution. A process needs certain resources including CPU time, memory, files, and input-output device to accomplish its task. The operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with process management: process creation and deletion, process suspension and reassumption, provision of mechanism for process synchronization, process communication. Main memory management. Memory is a large array of words or bytes, each with its own address. It is a repository of quick accessible data shared by the CPU and input-output device. Main memory is a volatile storage device. It loses its content in the case of system failure. The operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with memory management: keep track of which part of the memory are currently being used and by whom, decide which process to load when memory space becomes available, allocate and deallocate memory space as needed. So these are the main memory management. File management. A file is a collection of related information designed by its creator. Commonly, files represent programs, both source and object forms, and data. So the operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with file management, file creation and deletion, directory creation and deletion, support of primitives for manipulating files and directories, mapping files onto the secondary storage, file backup on stable non-storage media. Then input output system management. So the input output system consists of a buffering cache system, general device drivers, drivers for specific hardware device. And secondary storage management, since main memory, that is primary storage is volatile and too small to accommodate all data and program permanently, the computer system must provide a secondary storage to back up main memory. So most modern computer systems use disks as the principal online storage medium for both programs and data. So the operating system is responsible for the following activities in connection with disk management, free space management, storage allocation, and disk scheduling. So these are the secondary storage management. Networking or distributed system. A distributed system is a collection processor that do not share memory or a clock. Each processor has its own local memory. The processor in the system are connected through a communication network. Communication takes place using a protocol. A distributed system provides user access to various system resources. Access to a shared resource allows computational speed, increased data availability, enhanced reliability. So these are the networking. Next we move on to protecting. How do we protect the operating system? So the protection system is also required when we speak about the operating system. So protection refers to a mechanism for controlling access by program, process, or users to both system and user resources. The protection mechanism must distinguish between authorized and unauthorized usage, specify the controls to be imposed, provide a means of enforcement. This is what is called as a protection system. So command interpreter system. Many commands are given to the operating system by control systems which deals with process creation and management, input output handling, secondary storage management, main memory management, file system access, protection, and networking. We see one by one. Command interpreter system, a program that reads and interprets control statements is called a variously. Command line interpreter, we call it with respect to a operating system, that's what disk operating system. With respect to Unix, that is multi-programming, operating system, we call them as a shell. It's a function is to get and execute the next command statement. Operating system services, program execution, input output operation, file system manipulation, communication, error detection. So system operating system services, program execution, system capability to load a program into the memory and to run it, input output operation, since user programs cannot execute input output operation directly, the operating system must provide some means to perform input output. File system manipulation program reads to capability to read, write, create, and delete files. Then communication, exchange of information between process executing either on the same computer or on different systems tied together by the network, implemented via shared memory or message passing. Error detection, ensure correct computing by detecting errors in the CPU and memory hardware. in input-output devices or in user programs. Additional operating system functions. Additional functions exist not for helping the users but rather for ensuring efficient system operation. So resource allocation, allocating resources to multiple users or multiple job running at the same time. Accounting, keeping track of and record which user use how much and what kind of computer resources for accounting, billing, and or for accumulating usage statistics. Protection ensures that all access to system resource is controlled. What is system calls? System calls provide the interface between running programs and the operating system, generally available as assembly language instruction. Language is defined to replace assembly language for system. Programming allows system calls to be made directly. Three general methods are used to pass parameters between the running program and the operating system. So the pass parameter in register, store the parameters in the table in memory, and the table address is passed as a parameter in a register. Push or store the parameters onto the stack by the program and pop off the stack by operating system. So passing of parameters as a table, this is what the passing of parameters as a table is. X parameters for call, load address X, system call is 13, and port for system call 13. So user program, operating system. So all these are called as a passing of parameters as a table. MS-DOS execution. So how do we start executing? So we start operating system, that's free memory with command interpreter and kernel. So here you can see with respect to B diagram, free memory process. So process is added, command interpreter and a kernel. Types of system calls: process control, file management, device management, information maintenance, communication. So then category, so these are the categories: process control, file management, device management, information maintenance, and communication. So first one, system calls: end or abort, load and execute, create process or terminate process, get process attributes, set process attributes, wait for time, wait event, single event, allocate and free memory, create file, delete file, open a file or a close a file, read, write and reposition is with respect to file, get file attributes or a set file attributes. These are some of the system calls used for a file management. In the same way, some more system calls for a device management. You can request for a device, or if you have completed your job, you can release the device. Read, write, and reposition, same way how we are done for a file management, even you can do it for a device management. Then information maintenance, get time, date, set time or date, get system date, set system date, get process, file or a device attributes, get process, file or a device attributes, create, delete, communication connection, send, receive message, transfer status information, attack or detach remote device. So this is what about categories and system calls. Next we move on to Unix running multi-programs. Process D, free memory, process C, interpreter, process B, kernel. Then communication model. Communication may take place using either message passing or a shared memory. System program. System programs provide a convenient environment for program development and execution. The can be divided into file manipulation, status information, file modification, programming language support, program loading and execution, communication, application programs. Most users' view of operating system is defined by system programs, not the actual system call. MS-DOS system structure. MS-DOS written to provide the most functionality in the least space, not divided into modules. Although MS-DOS has some structure, it refers and level of functionality and not well separated. So that's what you can see here, MS-DOS layered structure. So BIOS, so we know that once we purchase a laptop, initially the ROM should be installed with the BIOS device drivers. Then you should have a MS-DOS device drivers. Then we have a resident system programs. Then we have a application program. So this is what is called as a DOS layered structure. So MS-DOS disk operating system layered structure. So what is MS? Microsoft. So Microsoft are the people who initially started developing the operating system. That's the reason it was called as a MS-DOS. So MS stands for Microsoft. DOS stands for Disk Operating System. How was the layered structure? It was a layered structure, something like this. ROM, where BIOS device drivers were there. Then we were on top of it, we were having the MS-DOS device drivers. On top of it, we were having the resident system programs. On top of it, we were having the application programs. So I'll just stop here. We'll continue in the next class.